Hello and welcome to our latest video. I'm Nigel from Link2Home. I am here in our training facility in Rickmansworth, just off the M25. And I'm here today to talk to you about and introduce you to our latest product, which is the Link2Home Smart 10-piece alarm kit. The purpose of this video is just to give you a quick tutorial on how best to set up your device for ease of access, and then give you some hints and tips on how to use it as well. So the first thing we're going to do is just start unpacking to see what's included in this 10-piece kit, and then we'll go through and start the setup process. When you want to do the setup process, a couple of little bits you will need to get it set up, and we suggest that you set it up in one environment first before you start distributing all the components around the house. So be in a situation where you've got access to a couple of power ports. You ideally need a little Phillips screwdriver, a larger one, and then also a little flathead screwdriver as well. So the 10-piece kit, what you get in the box. So if we just start the unboxing process here, first thing you'll notice is a little QR code here. So this QR code is hopefully how you found this video here today, but from that link here you can find lots of information on how to best use your alarm kit. So in the 10-piece kit, what have we got here? First of all, we've got two PIRs, 1, 2. We've then got a door and window contact as well, and what you'll find below the door and window contact is all your various different spaces for your different size frames and doors as well. We then have one of the main components here, which is the interior siren and gateway as well. So we'll come back to that very shortly. We then have the keypad. We then have the exterior alarm box as well, just there, which emits up to 105 decibels. We've then got two remote controlled sockets for quick access as well. So you've got one there, and then there is a second one hidden in here as well, which is just there. So 1, 2, and then we've also got two RFIDs as well. What you'll also find below the gateway is all your different instruction manuals for all of your subcomponents as well, which by all means follow those instructions and how best to set up your devices. But I'm also going to give you some advice here on how to quickly set up your 10-piece kit as well. Below where the keypad sits as well, you'll find your various power adapters. Now note there's only two devices in the kit that need power. One of them is the interior gateway, and then the other is the exterior siren noise as well. And what you'll also find in there is various fixing kits, so some raw plugs and some screws for attaching your devices together as well. So that's the unboxing process. So if I just move that box there to one side. Now the key to the alarm kit is this part here, which is the interior gateway. So that's your hub. That's where all of your devices connect to. So that's the first component that you want to get set up out of the box. Now, as I said a minute ago, that unit does require power as well. So the first thing we do is we get our adapter here, plug that in just to our normal 13 amp socket, and then we give the unit some power. And then on the back of it, there's a little on switch, and next to that, there's also a reset button. Now, if I just press that on switch there using my little keypad, what you'll start to see momentarily is you'll see some lights start to illuminate here, and you hear it's playing a little startup noise as well. Now when it's finished that, what you'll see on the front is you'll see a solid red light and a flashing blue light at the top. The flashing blue light indicating that it's ready to be paired. So if I now open up my Link2Home app, which you can also see on your screen in front of you as well, you're going to want to make sure that you are obviously connected to the internet as well for the setup process as well. So I am currently online. I'm connected to my Wi-Fi here in our training facility, and this is our latest version of the app. So this is version 1.06. So that's the latest version that you're going to want to make sure you're using when installing the latest security products as well. Your app should automatically update for both Apple and Android users, but if you've not updated it already, then do check the version and make sure you've updated it in the App Store as well. So you'll notice perhaps a few different changes in this app for our existing users. But if you're a new user to Link2Home, then welcome. And yeah, let's get started with setting up the gateway. So the first thing to do is set up our gateway, and you'll see the option here to either add device or a little plus icon. So if I click on add device here, what you'll see with this new app is devices start auto discovering instantly. And at the top of the screen here, you can see discovering devices, a picture of our gateway, and the option to add. So if I click on add, that then tells me the device that it's found is our Link2Home Zigbee gateway. So that's our alarm gateway. So I press the little plus icon. It then will ask us to confirm our Wi-Fi password. You can see now the device has been added. You've got a little tick icon, and you've got a couple of options at this stage. You can press the little pencil icon here, and you can rename your device, and you can assign it a location in your home as well. But for now, I'm just going to leave that as it is. So you click done, and we click done again. And now here it opens up the security panel of our gateway device as well. I'm not going to go into that just yet because we're going to get all of our sub devices set up first. So those sub devices being our two PIRs, our door and window contact, our keypad, our two remotes, and also our alarm box as well. So there's a couple of steps that you need to take here when getting your devices set up for the first time to get them into pairing mode. Now, the first thing that you're going to need to do is access all of those tools that I spoke about earlier, so your little screwdrivers. You'll also see some tabs on the devices, so all the batteries and things are included with the devices as well. So if we remove those little plastic tabs, components are your two remotes. Now these ones you don't need to prise open because the reset button is this tiny little hole at the top of it there. So here you've got a little tool just for accessing the reset button as well on your remote control devices. The other final component then is, and what you'll see on this device is there's an on-off switch there, and then also the black button is the reset button. Now this unit does require power as well. So now I've assembled all of my components here, what we're going to need to do is get them into pair mode so that we can set them up. So I'm going to start with the keypad here because the keypad it has a slightly different setup process. Now as per the instructions, the way that you set up the keypad is you first of all need to enter in the default admin code, which is 123456, and then we press the hash key, and then we enter in 4210 hash, and that's going to put that into pair mode. So if I do that, hash, and then 4210 hash, and so now I've entered those codes. You can see the LED is now flashing on them as well. So I'm going to reset now both my PIRs by pressing and holding that button, and you'll see the red PIR lights at the top start to flash. So hold that until it starts to flash and then let go. So that's one PIR, and the same with my next PIR as well. So that is now flashing. I then come to my door contact. So again, press and hold that button there for around about 10 seconds. And then what you'll see on the reverse of it is the red LED start to flash as well. I'm going to turn my alarm box on, and I'm going to give it some power as well. So plug that in, turn my alarm box to on, and then you'll see the light start to flicker at the top there as well. And then I'm just going to press and hold that reset button as well. 7, 8, 9, 10. And so now that will be into pair mode as well. And then we come to our two remotes. So we're just going to take that little keypad there and then press into that until you hear a little bit of feedback, or feel a little bit of feedback, sorry. and hold that for around about 5 seconds, and you'll see a green LED flashing through the hole there as well. Now I'll do that again with our other remote as well, and that one is now flashing as well. So just make sure all of your components are all still flashing, and if they're not, just press those reset buttons again as well to get them all into pair mode, as I am doing here as well. And then what we'll do is, so now we've got all of our devices ready to be paired up. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Link2Home app. So we open up our app and we can see the gateway device that we've already added. So I click on my gateway device, and what we want to do is add some sub devices. So we click on the option here that says sub device, and these types of devices are called Zigbee devices. So we click on the option that says Zigbee device list, option at the bottom which says add new devices, and we want to add new devices.
Please pair devices into the gateway.
So you hear a prompt from your gateway saying please add new devices. And if your device is already in search mode, you'll see them start to pop up on the screen like they do now. But if they don't start popping up, then just start pressing those reset buttons on your devices. So as a PIR here, I'm just going to press and hold that reset button for around about 5 seconds until my LED starts to flash. And that will start to flash, and then momentarily you'll see that pop up in the app. So that's now that one. The same with my door contact here. I'm just going to press the reset button on that as well. And now the red LED is flashing on that, so that will be discovered. We now want to set up our keypad. So to set up the keypad is slightly different. So as per the manual, what you want to do to get it set up is we press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hash, which is the default admin code, and when we press 4210 hash, and that puts the keypad into pair mode, and we'll also now see that device pop up on screen as well. Now the final two devices that we've got then are our panic buttons. So I press and hold that reset button at the top there for around about 5 seconds, and then that will start to flash as well. And then 1, 2, there we go, that's now flashing. That's 1.
The device is paired.
And that's 2. So what you will now see on screen is a total of 7 devices which you've got in your kit. So we've got 2 PIRs, 1 contact sensor, 2 panic buttons, a keypad, and an audible alarm. Now, if you wanted to keep adding other subcomponents, you can do that at this stage.
Please pair devices into the gateway.
But once you're happy that you've added all the sub devices you wanted to add at this stage, you can press done. And then it gives you a summary of all of your different devices. And here you can press your pencil icon so that you can rename any of your devices. So for things like your PIRs and your door contact sensors, you want to rename them to the room or the door or window in which you're installing them just then for ease of navigation. But there you see very quickly how to set up your 10P's Zigbee alarm kit as well. So hopefully that was useful there as a tutorial, just to give you a quick introduction on how to set up your devices quite quickly. Within each component that you may buy separately, you will find a set of instructions just to remind you on how to set up your devices as well. But hopefully you found that video informative, and thank you for purchasing your Link2Home alarm kit, and we hope you enjoy using it and securing your environment.